It's Austin, Texas. This is Stacker News Live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting episode of Stacker News Live. My name's Car with my BFF Keyan. How's your week, Keyan?
I think it was pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. We did the Austin Bitcoin Club. There was also ABDC, the Design Club, the night before.
Dude, it's been a like busy week.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure everyone's hungover from last night from celebrating 100K.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a great week. How's your week?
You also got your sign taken down.
My sign, they've ordered it down. I haven't taken it down. I'm resisting the man.
Dude, you're gonna get us kicked out.
I know. I'll turn. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn it off. I'm just gonna unplug it.
Stackers, look at this.
And then when we have a meetup, I'm gonna plug it back in.
Stackers, you see what Car puts up with? You see Stackers?
Dude,
Car puts up with this.
I'm dedicating my life to fighting the man, Car. And
yeah,
this building is the man.
We're all going to be homeless.
He's not even a live man. He's Littlefield, Mr. Littlefield, trying to control me.
There's a painting downstairs with Mr. Littlefield there, and he's disrespecting the man.
Is that Mr. Littlefield
dude.
in the lobby?
Yes.
I just thought it was like a guy who
there's a painting of him.
A pecan orchard or something.
You're disrespecting the man, and that's one thing in Texas you don't do.
All right. Okay. I'm going to get it.
I'm just telling you, we're going to be homeless. All the people are going to be like, hey, what's happened to Plub Lab? And I'm like, yeah, there's this crazy guy named Keyan from Stacker News.
I'm going to put a little...
Would it take down his yellow sign?
I'm going to tag that painting with the Stacker News on it.
Hey, man, I'm ride or die. Let's see where it goes. I'm just saying.
I'll bend the knee a little bit.
Just...
anyways.
Yeah, so it's been a great week for you or no?
Yeah, I think it's been good. I don't know about great. Great is a once in a while type of thing.
When was the last great week you had?
You know what? I don't think I've had one before. I don't think.
Really?
Yeah, I think I'm a virgin.
A virgin of a great week? I'm actually thinking, let me see. When was a great week I ever had? Probably when I was in my late teens, early 20s was the last great week. Where like, yeah. Like when I was like probably like my first tour or something like that, when we went on tour, like, your first like hangout, like you go on a trip with your first girlfriend, that type of thing. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like one of those, those type of experiences. I feel like
that makes sense.
Yeah.
My greatest weeks are in the future. That's the way I think about it.
That's another good thing to think about too. If you've never seen this crazy show, it's about Snacker.news, the front page of Bitcoin, where we cover the top 5 stories of the week. And this week, spoiler alert. Dang, I didn't even realize I did that. We're going to cover this. We're going backwards.
We're going backwards the right way.
Going backwards again, where we cover, we go backwards. We cover the top 5 stories, but we go 5 through 1. So you have to stay listening to the show. And then at the last...
Not so you stay. It's just so there's a buildup.
Yeah. Keyan's logic is there's a buildup and you'll want to know what's the number 1 story of the week. But if you rewind back 10 seconds, you would have saw the top story, which...
Well, it's kind of, it's like you want all the spoilers for a season, like a show or a movie to be at the very beginning of it. No, the whole point is like you build up suspense to, this moment and then you get it. You get the payoff.
We'll see. We also have Wumble. He'll be making clips. Sorry, Wumble, I haven't responded back to your emails, but they look good. I saw them just a while ago. They look good. Keep making them.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. We haven't gotten the details yet. I don't know. I don't know how expensive he is.
I'm sure he's not that expensive.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. He seems like
you mean he might be very expensive?
Seems very professional. So.
I mean, I think he's just Keyan. I think he's just a fan of the show and he wants to help us out. I mean, you're incredibly busy. I'm incredibly busy. And I think he just wants to be like, hey.
I don't know, dude.
He
could be incredibly busy too.
We've been doing 149 episodes. And I think for about 100 of those, he's been doing the timestamps for him. So,
yeah. He might have like a script or something that does them.
No, I don't think so.
You think they're hand done? Have you ever noticed a mistake in them?
No, he just. I mean, I've been paying him like 1,000 sats every week for. He's probably earned about 100,000 sats at this point.
Nice.
He's doing a great job.
Yeah, I mean, I know those are reliable. That's
Yeah,
why.
and then
That's
plus,
what I figured.
that's what I'm saying. He's just a fan of the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a better believer in fans than I am. I don't believe in fans.
I mean, he watches the show. I think there's only been one time he's missed. I think. Remember that one time where he like didn't make stamps? He's like too busy. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Oh,
And we just didn't have time stamps that week.
I don't remember that, but
Anyways, Wumble, you're doing a great job. Keep doing it. And then Keyan, you'll figure it out.
yeah.
But with all that, let's jump into the top 5 stories. The last story of the week that barely made it in, that scratched the surface, is trying to gain rough technical consensus on covenant proposals. This is from the One Vortex, December 4th. Bitcoin, 9 comments, 6,937 sats. Is this the Vortex guy? Is this the guy, Vortex?
He's the one Vortex. He's not the second one. Sure.
Oh, this is the Vortex guy. Dude, whoa, I didn't know he was on Stacker News. He's a big deal, Keyan. Do you know who this guy is?
I don't know who he is.
Oh, okay. So he used to make content like in the 2010s. This is before my time, Stackers.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like a big deal. He's like an OG Bitcoin content creator.
Oh,
Yeah.
I had no idea. I thought. I mean, his name seemed familiar, and I'd seen him before on Stacker News.
Yeah, he was like, if you go and type in him, like he was, a lot of people used to listen to him and follow him on YouTube and all the other places that he used to. Yeah, that's crazy. I had no idea he was he was
Okay.
here. That's cool that he's on Stacker News.
Yeah. So it looks like he's doing. He's trying to survey the technical Bitcoin community for like their ideas on covenants, because everything's scattered in modern Bitcoin land, where everything's on Twitter or Nostr or Delving or Reddit and what do people actually believe? Who knows? And so he's trying to compose everything into one simple spreadsheet doc where all the main contenders for soft forks are put in this table here. And I think you have 5 different scores you can give each soft fork proposal. And you just put yourself in the list there. And it looks like they had roughly about 20 people come in and say which soft forks they want and grading them. A lot of people seem to be in favor of CTV. Many people prefer it. I'd say it's probably the leading one. And then we have, I think OpCheckSig from Stack is the next most popular one. Very few people on any prev out. Quite a few people are in favor of TX hash, which is sort of like CTV, is my understanding. Quite a few people want OpCat. Anyway, pretty cool. And if you're a technical Bitcoiner who's listening to this, you're probably, I mean, we don't have anyone listening to this, but if you are, maybe consider adding yourself to this list.
Yeah, I just had on actually Chris Guida on Thriller today, and I'll probably punch it out tonight. But we were talking about this actually, believe it or not, and he was going into the specifics of why he wants certain proposals. So that's interesting that for people that don't know who Chris is, he works on Core Lightning plugins. Or he's in charge of that repo, right? Is that what it's called? Repo?
Yeah, I think so. He's a very technical Bitcoiner. It seems like he would prefer OpCTV or any prev out, which my understanding can give you some covenant-like abilities, and also was proposed initially to help with some Lightning stuff.
It's interesting. The people that you would think should be here, like Rusty or even Lalu, aren't here, right? Or am I missing their Am I missing where?
Well, both of them are.
Even Christian Decker. I don't.
Two of the people all three of the people you've mentioned so far have more than full-time jobs building a Lightning implementation.
Yes, obviously, but I don't see them on here.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Silences.
I think
means something or not. They're just
I know
too busy.
at least in the case of Lalu, they're like super deep on the TapS stuff, and I think until that really sees the type of development that they're looking for, I suspect he'll stay completely out of Covenant talks. Yeah, I'm surprised Rusty Russell isn't here. It might just might just not have gotten around to it yet. And then Decker, I think I've seen Decker be in favor of TX hash, but I don't know.
I'm surprised Super Testnet's not here either.
Yeah, and no one wants to help someone else reach consensus. I'm sure you could maybe it's a task for someone to go through and look at the person's posts on covenants and add them to this list. People are.
Oh, they don't want to do that, or they do want to do that.
Well, the individuals themselves, they might feel like, why do this favor for the one vortex? They see it as a favor for the one vortex and they've already said how they feel on their Twitter. Everyone should just go to their Twitter and read their Twitter profile and all their Twitter posts or something. Maybe that's how they feel. I don't know.
What does those question marks mean right here? It says James OB, and then it says question mark, and then everything is Sats question mark.
Oh, what's his affiliation?
Oh, interesting.
Maybe it's a
know
hidden affiliation.
Oh, whoa.
Maybe
I thought he worked at Chain Code.
James OB. I thought he worked at NIDIG.
Oh, whoa.
But I don't know if that's true. Maybe he doesn't want that.
Interesting.
Out there. Yeah.
So no one knows their affiliations?
I think he might be I think they might just be unaffiliated at the moment.
Oh, okay. So they're just like
might not be
they're just contributors.
Clandestine affiliation.
Oh, okay. I guess that's good that they put that there. That definitely makes a difference.
Yeah, it helps people see what's up. Yeah, Ben the Carmen. You see him. What does he say on Opcat?
His affiliation is
Wizard. He identifies as a taproot wizard.
He loves it though.
Pronouns wizard.
I saw him the other day. He's doing great. Cool.
Does seem good.
Yeah, and what do the stackers say? Do they have anything? So the one vortex said we're trying to gain some kind of rough technical consensus. So basically, what you said. Otherwise, if you're new to covenants, please read these articles here. What did EK say? How do we express our opinion? Do we need to create an account first?
Yeah, EK was trying to create an account and had some trouble, I think.
Yeah, I feel like somebody should make a prediction market on this.
That's what EK was saying. Because
he
tagged Mega Dreamer. Mega Dreamer runs
let the stackers bet on this.
Predix. Yeah, Mega Dreamer runs the Predix prediction, the Lightning prediction market.
It's kind of one of those things where like, let's get on the action for the people that haven't put their thing in there yet.
Yeah, that might be a great way to get those people who haven't put their thing in there to get involved. They can make some money.
Make some money. Yeah, totally. That's funny, right? Everybody just starts betting ahead of time and then hilarious. Yeah. And leave it to Bitcoiners to figure out how to gamble.
Love gambling.
Gambling. What do you think this is going to go? Do you think this is going to get resolved in 2025 or no?
I think it's too. I don't think anyone is. I don't think so. I don't think it will. It seems like there's too much bad blood. It's a bit of a blood feud.
You think it's bad blood? It's not bad blood.
Too much blood has been spilled. No,
What pound of flesh has been given? There's none.
It's everything is information now, and it's just like insults online or like poking someone in the eye. Like that's what we have like so little real shit.
People get over
anymore.
shit, dude. People take offense and then they see each other at conferences and they get that shit over with. It's like
I don't really think
you don't
they
think
do.
so.
I don't think they.
Is
do.
it different with developers than like normal Bitcoiners?
No, it's the same with normal Bitcoiners, but I feel like it's a different time we live in where words hurt.
Is it because we now have 100K Bitcoin so we can take our ball and really just go home?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I don't. Are you saying because we're at 100K, all the blood is done being spilled?
No, I'm saying because we're at 100K Bitcoin now, we really can just say, F off.
Oh, I see.
As before, it was like
F
10,
money.
15, 30K. It's like, yeah, we still need to work together.
I think there's some of that. I think we'll see.
Because now 10 Bitcoin, really can just 21 Bitcoin, 10 Bitcoin can really just, you really can just go away. It's like low time preference, this mother truck and just like, set off.
You could live in a van for
the rest of your life.
It's not a whole coiner.
Yeah.
At this point. Yeah. I don't know if things have gone that way, but I do think we see people. I don't know. I think people's egos get a little big when they have a bigger bankroll. They start flexing a little harder, not necessarily in a financial sense, but just in a personality sense.
Yeah. All right. Well, you heard it here first. Stackers. EK, let's get that prediction market set up.
Mega Dreamer.
Mega Dreamer.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
EK is just a prediction market enjoyer.
There you go. The fourth top story, that was a great fifth story. Man, if this is the way it starts going, Keyan.
Oh, you know how it ends, and you're gonna love it.
Oh, it ends terribly. Let me just tell you, Stackers, you definitely don't want to stick around for the last story. It ends terribly as the number one story. But still, I mean, the fifth story was it could have been number one. That was great. The number 4 story of the week is Cobra says developers are working to activate CTV. What? This is in the BitDevs territory. December 1st, are seeing 26 comments, 1,586 sats. Keyan,
yeah.
what is Cobra predicting now?
He's predicting that there are some Bitcoiners who are working in the background very hard to activate CTV through a user-activated soft fork. And you like ordinarily, I just think this is just a random tweet, but Cobra Bitcoin, I believe, is the developer who is running Bitcoin.org.
Yeah.
And got a lawsuit from CSW.
Bleeds orange.
Yeah, so it probably, very legitimate claim, and I wouldn't be surprised. There were last cycle CTV was, I think Jeremy Rubin at one point suggested or mentioned that he was working on this, and everyone got super reactionary. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is true.
What are the implications of this happening? And what do you think? Let's start there.
Okay. Well, you have some users who are running a CTV fork, and I guess then they would have to be mined. I forget all the soft fork intricacies, but I believe with a soft fork you need miners to adopt it. But then I guess for CTV, I actually don't know. But you would have some people running the fork, and it would likely be inconsequential unless there were a majority of either people using CTV or I think miners mining CTV transactions.
But couldn't you just ignore it though? Like, couldn't you just run your own version of Core? Like, it wouldn't matter, right?
It wouldn't matter, but in that way, it's sort of like the networking upgrade to CTV without your approval. And, the majority of people can begin running the CTV fork, using the CTV fork, and you don't really have much of a say.
Okay, so this seems like a preliminary attempt at creating a new fork, a new hard. This seems like a preliminary.
This isn't a hard fork, though.
But this seems like a preliminary. I don't want to say attack because that's a strong word. This seems like a preliminary step before getting to a hard fork.
It doesn't need to be a hard fork.
I know, but I'm saying this seems like a preliminary step. It's like, hey guys, we want to do a hard fork. This seems like a preliminary step to get to a hard fork.
It's not though, because if
You're gathering the troops here is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but if you can do a soft fork, you don't need a hard fork. That's what I'm saying.
No, but I'm saying the person who's doing this wants a hard fork. That's why they're doing a preliminary step to get to a hard fork.
They aren't. If
so?
all they want is CTV, they don't need to do a hard fork. It's actually way more.
I think some people do want a hard fork.
Why would they want a hard fork?
Dude, Jimmy was talking about this last year.
He was
sounding the alarm about this last year. He's like, he goes, don't be surprised. It was like, look it up. I can look it up on Sector News, but he was saying like, don't be surprised if this cycle we see somebody attempt a hard fork because of the whole ordinal stuff.
Yeah, but I don't think that really doesn't benefit the hard forker. I don't think hard forkers want to hard fork. They just have they don't really have much of a choice. They feel like they don't have much of a choice, and then they feel like they can maybe pump the hard fork and then dump it like a shit coin.
I could see somebody doing this as a first step to getting to a hard fork. But I don't know. I would love for him to say who these developers are. I wonder who they are.
I just wonder how, because my understanding of a soft fork is that you need a majority of miners to opt into it, and that's how basically the soft fork is activated. So I'm wondering what a user activated soft fork looks like in practice. It's been some time since I've looked into the dynamics of this, but it's worth being more familiar with this. So you're ready to go to war. The best type of Bitcoin war, which is a consensus war.
I see if they're good. I see if they're going to do a soft fork. Just go ahead and do a hard fork, and let us get some sort of let us all gain from that.
Give us some Bitcoin dividends.
Exactly. Go and make your shit coin and get the fuck out of here. That's what I say.
I don't think I doubt it'll happen. I think there's too much.
I think it'll happen.
I think there's too much memory. Like the memory of the Bcash fork is too strong. I think Bitcoiners are like afraid. That's why a lot of Bitcoiners are, claiming that these people are shit coiners. They're equating them to
you know how
Bcashers.
Bitcoiners think. They're thinking like 5-10 steps ahead. So maybe there's somebody egging them on, and somebody's like rolling the bankroll for this. I mean, Bitcoiners are smart, man. They'll let somebody hang.
Just none of these have succeeded. So you just have, every additional one that fails, this like makes it less likely. I feel like people will create them.
Yeah. Anyway. Cool. Let's go into these are great stories this week. Let's go into the third top story of the week. Turning tires into Bitcoin. This is from Offered Scott, Bitcoin mining territory. December 3rd, 19 comments, 250K boost, 2,563 sats. Keyan, what's this?
This is actually really cool. If you visit the link there, they have a video where they explain, or they kind of explain what they're doing. But in this case, they're taking tires, basically tire treads, the rubber from tires. I guess they kind of pre-process them, take out the steel that's in them, and they get the rubber, and then they do some kind of heating chemical thing and turn the rubber into diesel. And I think other byproducts like rubber and possibly one other thing. But they could basically
one of the biggest problems in the environment,
turn it into fuel, and use that fuel to mine Bitcoin. So they're recycling, and they are getting paid to recycle.
Yeah, didn't Jason Williams do this too?
I don't know who Jason Williams is. Parabolic guy?
Yeah, Parabolic guy.
He might be. Is that him? Maybe that's him. I don't know who Jason Williams is.
No, I think he's out of it now. I don't think he does it anymore. But I think it was the same thing.
These guys are pretty. I mean, they're like, we're doing it with rubber right now, but eventually we think we'll be able to do it with plastic. And so they're like, we're gonna clean up landfills and the oceans with all the the plastic island or whatever. We're gonna make Bitcoin We're going to get Bitcoin from it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is just all you need is your own capital and tenacity and the know-how of doing this kind of stuff. That's it.
It's really cool. I guess
It's that simple.
I guess maybe before this, you couldn't really do this because you could maybe only do this at small scale. And if you produce a little bit of energy, what good is it for? You're gonna put this up next to your home or your business? No. But if you do it in the middle of wherever, and you can have a recycling plant. You can put miners right next to it. It doesn't need to power back into the grid. You don't need to be negotiating with the city and their electrical grid to figure it out. You can literally monetize it.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome.
It's a big deal.
We're in the wrong segment of the industry.
I know. We're in the like soft hands side of the industry. We're like little bitches. Look at these guys. These guys, that guy probably has like 10 kids to like 5 different women.
It's amazing. That's awesome. Yeah. So how do they hear about Stacker News? Did they show up on here or what? How do they? It's crazy.
Well, we had a mining territory. I think there's quite a few
people that just shared it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got John Hotto with a top comment. He said, we need more of this type of innovation. I've looked into wood gasifier to generate electricity, but don't have the resources at my disposal.
Yeah, the gasifiers are really
I will
cool.
look into it more when I am planning my Citadel. Yes, wood gasification good too. It consumes a lot of material for the power outputs. Yeah, sounds like a cool project. After getting rid of all the man-made plastic and rubber junk in this world, Bitcoiners shall mine using ancient stone structures that are located along the Earth's electromagnetic energy fields. Yeah, I mean, they always talk about that with like pyramids in Egypt and stuff where like apparently those aqueducts things were underneath the bed of crystals or something. I don't know. And then they made electricity around the area with like clamshells. I don't know. Some sort of crazy utopian thing. Who knows?
I don't know.
You think you'll ever get into mining Bitcoin, Keyan?
I don't think so. I think I was born with soft hands and I will die with soft hands. I think that is probably my way. I'd love to. I just don't. I just feel so much more powerful in an information context, an information manipulation context, and not so much physical world context.
Yeah, it's cool. What's the next top story? Which one do you have next? Because I think I have skipped one somewhere.
Let's see here. We had
Is it
number 3, and then we had number 2.
Was which one?
Legend of the Snail. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what
you did. You skipped Legend of the Snail.
Okay, that's what it is. The next top story, number 2 top story of the week is the Legend of the Snail winner announcement. 103K is the name of the title. I'll screw this up. December 4th, Oracle territory. 31 comments, 2,170 sats. Keyan.
Yeah.
What is a snail? What is the damn snail thing?
Yeah. So the Legend of the Snail was at one point we had Orthworm in the saloon every day.
Yeah. What happened? So yeah, tell us the whole story here. Because did Orthworm die or something? What happened?
I don't think Orthworm died, but I think Orthworm
gave up.
I think they might have given up. I think they might have. They had to. Maybe they started traveling or something. They stopped posting every day.
How long ago was that?
It was in the middle of the last cycle. They started doing a snail.
No, it was way before the middle of the last cycle. I thought it was way in the beginning of it.
It might have been in the beginning of it.
Like I remember 2022, we started seeing that damn snail because I remember Tony complaining about it.
Yeah. Every day in the saloon, Orthworm would post a snail and they would put the day count on it and be like a snail every day until 100K. And they would do that every day. And then I think around 500 days, they stopped doing it. So this is, I think, an ode to Orthworm and the Legend of the Snail.
Was it exactly on 600 days?
I think it was around 500. Was my memory of it.
No,
I wasn't.
I mean, the
snail watcher
when it broke.
When when Orthworm broke or 100K?
100K, bro.
Oh, I don't know. I don't recall, but maybe it is. Maybe it's 600 days after that bet. The bet was initially taken. I don't know what we could ask EK. EK runs the Oracle account. Anyway, he asked everyone to make a prediction on when they thought we'd reach 100K. And so that's what this is all about. And I think that first post, everyone zapped it. And the amount of sats that post stacked are what the winner would get, who predicted most correctly. And in this case, South Korea LN predicted most correctly. I think they guessed it would be December 18th.
Oh, wow.
When we'd reach 100K.
Why did I get involved in this? What the hell?
The prediction market thing they tend to use a lot of inaccessible language to describe what they're doing. Rather than saying bets, they say predictions. And
so they're trying to keep people out.
I don't know if that's the case, or maybe it's like legal reasons they started obfuscating it, or they just, they're nerds and they like to use fancy
what
words.
The hell, EK?
That's what this was. And so
even Albie got in on this.
Yeah, they were out fast. They thought it would happen in April.
Siggy got in. That's funny.
I think Orthworm probably comically said it was like the day it started, pretty early.
David W. South Korea Lightning won.
They did.
Wow, that's a lot of sats.
Quite a few people said 2025.
Wow, that's amazing. What did you think it was? What did you think was going to happen?
When did I think 100K would happen?
Or what did you think this was going to happen? Like, what did you think about this whole endeavor when you first saw the snail? And
I don't get involved in the prediction market betting stuff.
Is that take off your legal hat? Like, what did you think when you saw the snail thing show up on Snacker News?
Nothing. I thought EK was into prediction markets and that he was doing a prediction market thing.
No, Orthworm. I mean, what did you think when you saw Orthworm initially show up 100-day, when they're doing those things, like in the saloon?
This guy, cool. The guy's found a reason to come to this post in the saloon every day.
Did it ever get annoying to you? Like, you're like, okay, this guy's 300 days in or whatever.
No, it became, there are many things. One of the rules, if you've ever done improv, one of the rules in improv is committing to, even if you have an annoying choice or annoying character, you continue to make that annoying choice and annoying character, and eventually it becomes funny, because who would stick to an annoying choice or annoying character for that long? And that commitment is part of what makes it entertaining. And in this, this was just a high commitment level. So everyone became a huge fan of Orthworm at one point. Regularly they'd get 1,000 sats or at least a couple hundred sats a day zapped to them. And people were like, where's Orthworm? Why isn't Orthworm here today? What happened? And so pretty successful experiment on their part.
That's crazy. Did they make another one right after this? Did they do another 250K or anything like that? Or 200K? Did they make one after this, or this is
this? I think that they stopped doing the 100K. I'm not sure.
So where it's in Oracle.
Not sure
where the snail.
Orthworm.
Okay.
It might be that first. Yeah, if you go to that first post, Legend of the Snail, it might say link to see Orthworm. You can go to Orthworm's profile.
Oh wow. Well, hats off to Earthworm. If you guys want to zap him, you can zap him.
Zap him. Yeah, it looks like they probably posted a couple thousand times at least. I don't know if those are all.
Legend, dude. Does he still show up from time to time or no? Oh, so he hasn't shown up since August 29th?
The looters are coming?
Yeah, so he's gone.
I don't know what he meant by the looters are coming. I think he thinks that he might be talking about ass milkers.
The losers are coming.
The looters.
To Nemo for a while. Please look after him. What's Nemo?
Nemo was a very prolific stacker around this time, I think last year, who was quite shit posty, and would also like delete all their posts and comments, and they basically disappeared. And so that's what he's referencing is.
Dude, it's weird how you kind of know the whole stories.
I mean, morning to night since Stacker News' existence, I'm basically on the site. So
you kind of know all the intricate stories of
the
stackers. So you know like the folklore.
A little bit.
If these web pages,
I think some stackers are even deeper in the folklore stuff than you and I am, but I have a high level view of it.
Do you think there's other folklore that you're not even privy to?
Probably, yeah.
Wow. So you think there's stuff going on in Stacker News that you're not even aware of?
Probably. I would guess so.
Shit. Should we be afraid?
You should be very afraid, Car.
Damn it. Stackers, just remember, Car loves you. I do this show for free pretty much.
What? You can always
I do the show for the stackers.
Oh, okay.
So why do it?
Just
the
a poor
stackers.
cripple. Help me.
Remember when we started the show? We were at Capital Factory.
I sure remember it.
Now look at us. Next to a P. Terry sign.
Dude, we've come a long way.
Started from
a green room.
Started from the top. Now we're here.
Yeah.
At the very top.
Streaming room in Capital Factory.
Long way to go.
We had to rent it.
Oh yeah, they used to make us like. Would they make? No. We would just have to rent it ahead of time, and then if we didn't show up on time, they would kick us out.
Yeah, we went over.
Yeah, and then they would get upset
if we left stuff in there.
Yeah, they're like, "What happened? You can't bring drinks in there." But like, why?
Oh,
not?
right, the drinks were the big deal.
Yeah. That's so.
And then
dumb.
you talked to your daddy, Joshua Bayer.
Dude, did I tell you I emailed him like months ago?
No,
just because I wanted to have a conversation with him. Guy never emailed back. I guess he's just too busy.
Just guy to guy. Well, maybe he's busy with his dogs.
I regret not ever like having a conversation with him. Wish I could go back in time and like have a conversation with him. He probably knows a lot.
Him and I had a conversation where we like didn't talk to each other. You know, like one of those guys. Where we
what do you mean?
We kind of would acknowledge each other a little bit, but not exactly look at each other, but look by each other, and then
interesting.
So we both,
I usually try to talk to everybody unless I'm like incredibly busy.
I take the opposite approach. I talk to no one.
Yeah,
that's my approach.
There's very few people that I won't talk to.
I love talking to people, but I don't talk to anyone.
So you only talk to people that come up to you and talk.
They have to make it extremely easy for me. They make me feel like it's not my fault.
Or like bad. I have to go up there and be like, "Hey, here's Keyan. Look, meet whatever," and then you'll talk to him, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, I feel like then it's your fault if it goes bad.
Yeah,
then I won't blame myself.
All right, we're gonna get into the number one story of the week, stackers. Can you believe it? It is Ecash on Bitcoin. Gandalf's thoughts on Ecash after working on cashu for 2 years. This is a Prism post in the Lightning territory, December 3rd. Supratic brought this thing here. 29 comments, 3,971 sats. They were all forwarded to Gandalf 21, who I actually like Gandalf. 100% of them were forwarded there. Keyan, what is this doing in the top number one story of the week on Stacker News?
A lot of people, I mean, you know how much Bitcoiners like Ecash. So
seems to be the trending topic these
I
days.
guess so.
You would think it would be like 100K top story of the week on Stacker News, but no, stackers want to talk about Ecash.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, a lot of stackers are a little more technical, a little more in the weeds. But this was a really sober, I think, and accurate post on Ecash. Was another reason I think it did so well. It wasn't claiming that Ecash,
going to change the world,
cured AIDS or whatever. It was just like, yeah, you will get rugged. It was like, they were like, one of the criticisms of Ecash is you will get rugged. And they're like, 100% you will get rugged. So they're just like very honest about Ecash, but while explaining some of the benefits of it. And so I think that's one of the reasons why it did so well and people liked it. One of the things that you might like in here is Ecash is CBDC. It's right in the middle of the screen there. But
oh, really? They finally are telling the truth now.
Yeah. So this is something.
So I remember. Hang on a second.
Go for it.
I remember you and Tony and a host of other people inside of Plub Lab called me a cuckoo crazy person for even saying these things out loud in front of everybody. Everybody looked at me like I was just some kind of wacko crazy conspiracy theorist, red MAGA dark manga hat guy, because I even considered that Ecash could be a CBDC somewhere in the middle. And I remember people were like, "Oh, how dare you, Car? How dare you call this stuff out?" And I remember thinking at the time, I was like, "I'm not calling this stuff out. I'm just calling it like I see it." It's hard for me not to see that. It's a right in the middle. It's not a CBDC, but it's like right in the middle, and it's perfectly okay if it gets passed as a bill. See here, I'm bringing in Austin over here. I'm bringing in Austin,
okay.
But like
I thought Austin wanted to respond.
No, it's fine. He can respond. What I'm trying to say is like I'm trying to say is like it's weird now how like all these things then come out later. This is why I don't listen to people anymore. I just follow my own arguments on these things now. And I will take into account some things and I'll be proven wrong over time. But when I see something as clear as day, I stick with it now and I don't bend on it.
I think at the time you weren't saying that this is possibly going to turn into CB. You know, your predictions tend to be Car has visited the future and Car has just come back and he's here to report on the future. And that was like that. Ecash is going to be a CBDC, and to your credit, I think other people are at least seeing it that way. So what you were seeing was not a mirage.
What is he saying here about it?
He's mostly saying that Ecash might be a good candidate for a CBDC. That's not what you said.
No, I know. I said this multiple times. I said there's a CBDC. It's all the way on this side. And then there's Bitcoin, and it's like right here. And I said Ecash sits somewhere in the middle of that. I said if it gets passed as a bill, Ecash is a right in the middle version of being a CBDC. It does all the same things, but it obfuscates like a couple things. Like it could even be implemented. And I said if that happens, then I'm on board with it because at that point it's better than a CBDC because it doesn't. But at the time, I remember when I was saying these things, people were like, "How dare you call this thing a CBDC?"
I don't remember that.
Gosh.
I think
Stackers, roll the tape back. I roll their tape. Wumble, find the clip from last year. Like I'm telling you, it was around this time last year. Even on Thriller, I had Tony on and we were talking about this. And I just remember thinking I just remember feeling like I was like a lunatic or something for how dare you say these things out loud.
I don't think the loony part isn't that Ecash is a good candidate for a CBDC. The loony part is you like walking out of a time machine. You like basically walking out of a time machine and there's like smoke and stuff. And you're like, guys, Ecash is a CBDC.
I didn't say Ecash is CBDC. I said Ecash will likely turn into, or I forget what I said exactly, but I remember saying that Ecash will only work. Ecash sits somewhere between a CBDC and Bitcoin. I remember saying that.
You did say things like that.
Yeah.
And, but
anyways,
I think if anyone called you crazy, and that's inappropriate, I don't want you to call anyone you crazy.
I think I'm exaggerating that right now.
Yeah,
but Car, another one, Stackers at home, who's keeping score? Car and Keyan scoreboard. Car's right 2 times now in this show. Keyan, you're right multiple times.
I mean, all the other times, let's just forget those times.
You want to say something, Austin?
Yeah, I'll say something very...
Yeah, no, for sure.
Say something very generic. Hello, Stackers. This just makes it, it's interesting. This makes me think of the trade-off between auditability and privacy. And even though this is like a trade-off that we talk about in this narrow domain of like Monero versus Bitcoin, I think it actually extends far beyond that. Like Ecash optimizing for privacy versus auditability, it kind of gives it a different approach to different problems it wants to solve because it has the hammer of privacy versus the wrench of auditability. And the wrench of auditability allows something to be trustless. It allows you to verify, right? Or at least verify not just your own transactions, but that all the transactions sum to the amount that's claimed. So I don't know. That's just like, for me, this is a trend. I want to see in Ecash, like, why can't we have auditability and privacy in Ecash? And then something like a CBDC, all of our fears around what that would be. Not that I didn't read this article, I'm not sure about it, but what scares us about CBDC is lack of privacy, lack of control, and then needing to trust, lack of auditability, right? And yeah, I know some people are working on auditability and Ecash, but for me, this is just another symptom of that trade-off. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was a great point. And I think it might be a full, not just, I think it might be a full dilemma between, I'm not sure you can have both. You have to pick one. It might be, it's sort of what.
What do you mean between auditability and privacy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Bitcoin, like all the privacy, it falls onto the individual. In Bitcoin, all the privacy, like overhead, it falls onto you as the individual. It falls onto the external services that you're using to interact with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is pseudonymous, right? But that's really hard. And in a sense, Bitcoin has great privacy because you can achieve great privacy through just the nature of the system. But practically doing that is so difficult. So, I mean, I think you could already argue that Bitcoin has, in theory, really good privacy and amazing auditability. But then in practice, the privacy is just so difficult, so terrible. And then the auditability is perfect. So I don't know. And so maybe Ecash, they have their, quote unquote, perfect privacy. Maybe they can branch over and have pretty good auditability. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll see. Another thing that Austin brought up there was privacy in CBDCs. And Gandalf talks about that a little bit, where he describes some of the projects that are trying to make CBDCs out of Ecash, and it says GNU Talon, or Taler, and then Project Tourbillon. Both of those are attempting to do Ecash CBDCs. They say that, he says though, that they are cucked because unlike OG Ecash, where payers are anonymous, in the case of these cucked versions, the people who are getting paid are not anonymous. So like the merchant is doxxed, even if but the customer has privacy. Anyway.
What is a CBDC versus just a private bank token?
Yeah, so...
Right, where is that line drawn?
Yeah.
Because a CBDC means a central bank is issuing it. But what if it's a bunch of private banks?
Yeah, so this is where...
issuing their own Ecash?
Yeah, so this is where I think I can answer that, I think, pretty well. So central bank digital currency, I think when I think of a CBDC, I think of like China's surveillance state, right? You're talking about cameras everywhere following you, attached to your social credit score, your credit cards, everything, your bank accounts, all that stuff. And then you have a digital token equivalent to their, I think it's their yuan or whatever.
Yuan.
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 That is what I think is like their CBDC. That's how I see it, Austin. So how does Ecash fit in there? I think the only way I would be on board with Ecash for like a Bitcoiner to use would be like a Texas bank or even like an Unchained Capital that would have, and this is nothing I know or anything like that. This is just me. Something that I would be comfortable as a Bitcoiner would be like a Bitcoin bank, basically, that I would give a Bitcoin to, that I would have self-custodial Bitcoin that I have keys to, and then there's a checking account or some that I can then have Ecash that they actually have a mint around, or a mint with that community bank. Basically what Moon used to talk about when he used to talk about this in 21 or 22 with us, Keyan, where he would be like, oh, it's a community bank thing. And that you would have keys to your own account and all these, like this beautiful picture that he used to paint when I used to get really excited about this stuff. But that's where I see Ecash would be amazing to have as a Texas community bank, that I could have a bank account with Bitcoin sitting like in savings, and then some of that as Ecash to withdraw or use as a. Does that make sense, Keyan? Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like that to me feels a lot more safer. That to me, as long as that can be used in that way, and I don't mind if the bank knows where I'm sending things to pay grocery bills, whatever, pay bills, and I can, do other things with it. That to me is fine. I just don't want to be like surveilled. And if that means not using JP Morgan and Chase and some of these other places, I'm cool with that.
Okay. So you're saying the community bank model, private banks, relative, like that's okay. But the line or the thing that distinguishes the CBDC from those is basically the power of a federal government to both like aggregate information and surveil and
tie these
the
loose
force. Yeah.
Tie these loose ends all together and track you.
Yeah. I think the other thing is probably the ability to create new money and to probably
see, that seems fine to me.
Money.
That seems fine to me, like a fractional reserve bank that is a fractional reserve bank that you do have your Bitcoin in there. And that seems fine to me because we're already used to that here in America. In this kind of like Ecash version of a community bank that's denominated in Bitcoin.
In the case of a CBDC, I think one of the bigger risks, other than the privacy aspect, is legal seizure of like overnight flick of a switch, taking 50% out of everyone's savings.
See, that's
account.
not cool.
Yeah, so that would be like another risk with CBDC over a private bank, which can also seize money from you, or I guess rug you, and can destroy your privacy, but they can't do it to everyone at the same time in the world. I guess it's more of a private decision.
Because right now what we have is basically a banking sector that we all have to use as Bitcoin companies that is not very favorable to us for a lot of reasons, I'm sure that we all deal with. And then we also have like Bitcoin, right? That's sitting somewhere else. And so that's the problem that we deal with already, and it's worse. So if an Ecash version of that solves a lot of those problems, I think, in this world that I'm seeing. But I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy that they're finally coming to terms with this, because there's been a lot of non-truths that have been out there for over a year. And
this is just one thing he highlights at the end of a section here. It's not like the central tenet of his Ecash argument.
Yeah. So what else does he go into?
He talks about really, I think, is very clear-headed about the fact that Ecash is custodial, and that
finally they say it,
and that it's not just anyone who's been working on Ecash has been in my opinion, very honest about this. It's mostly everyone else except the people who are working on Ecash day to day, who are somehow pretending it's not custodial or that it has magical properties. Because really all Ecash is it's basically a bank that's gives you a bearer authentication and is private, like that. Doesn't know when it's that. Those are like the few things, and so anything that extends beyond that is like magical thinking. Anything that doesn't rely on those properties. Anyway, he talks about custody, and that custody is still really important. But that, we all maybe are okay with being slightly vulnerable to things like theft in a case of, spending money. And that, maybe, but in the case of spending money, we probably don't want to give up privacy. Like you're okay with carrying $100 in your wallet down an alley, to buy a prohibited music album, maybe, or something, and getting robbed, but you don't want the government to know that you're listening to show tunes or whatever you're buying in the alley. You want to have privacy for that money, and so that's what he's saying. It's like some of the dynamics here. What else does he? It says he's using all of Bitcoin solutions, Lightning. He sees a place for Lightning, see a place for on-chain. It's not an alternative to those things. It's simply a complement is another thing that he kind of says here. And then there's like a FAQ at the bottom.
So he says then why Ecash?
Yeah. not comparing Ecash to Bitcoin. And he proposes a few use cases. I think they're pretty soft use cases. I don't necessarily see them getting used like this, but it gets the ball rolling. And I think is generally directionally okay of an idea. And yeah, that's a majority of it. And then there are these, my favorite, like Ecash misconceptions and flawed assumptions. Ecash mentally get rugged, 100% correct. So again, just very honest take on the whole situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else, Austin?
Austin, do you have more Ecash thoughts? I know you've thought about this a lot more than either of us.
Yeah, I don't think about it anymore.
I think there is still a lot of development that can be done. And something that's interesting for me, I don't even really like some of his ideas that he mentions. For me, it's the small wallet solution. The solution where I could create a Lightning wallet out of thin air nearly instantly. And with like, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to know or supposed to talk about with like our friends that are working on different Ecash wallets, but you could imagine an Ecash wallet where I only ever have $100 at a time, but that $100 is split across 100 different mints. And that maybe I move every single time my desktop wallet or my mobile wallet's open, maybe I'm actually swapping those tokens between the mints in real time. And that can all be completely abstracted for me as a user, completely in the background. And this is something like a simultaneous check on reserves and mints having the reserves and being able to continually service withdrawals, especially the more users that do this. And it's also a check, a bit of a bonus on privacy because you're washing these tokens between a bunch of different mints all the time. And I think that like you start to polish down this experience, and I think you get to a trade-off that is a fair trade-off for the $10 to $100 casual wallet that hopefully you step into a stronger solution over time. But I don't know. That's what I'm waiting to see.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting idea, like an interesting theoretical idea. The multi-mint, like simultaneous mint wallet. I don't know of any other solution where we're like any other system other system where we're simultaneously trusting 100 people, and but sort of not trusting. We've split our trust that way. And
what do you mean, with money or with?
Yeah,
with money.
Most people, they prefer to trust. They prefer to trust one to maybe 5 entities at a time.
Trust one rando with $100 or 100 randos with $1.
Yeah, but the incentives of trusting 100 randos with $1 means that picking of those 100 mints is relatively arbitrary, and so they're more likely to rug. So each of those individual mints has a higher probability of rugging, which in aggregate might even be greater than the risk of one person rugging. Weighted by how much money. And anyway, but that's what I'm saying is it's theoretical, it's complicated, and I'm not sure the solution is actually ends up being better. It's at least an alternative that might be better.
Then let me ask you a question. Let me ask you both. Yeah. Let me ask you both the question here. Then how is that any different than like the LSP spec that's being, I don't know if it's being shopped around, but that like where you'll be able to swap LSPs like on the back end where like a person won't be able to. I'm trying to figure out how to word this technically where you guys will understand what I'm trying to say. Where I'll be able to send a payment and then the LSP will just be able to have just-in-time liquidity. But I think Zeus and maybe Async are working on it or something like that. Do you know what I'm talking about, Austin? Or am I just
LSP is just a bank without privacy?
Yeah, but how is what you're describing with the mint any different than that? Because I thought that was what they were.
An LSP is not a bank because you're not trusting money. The LSP does not have custody of your money. It's basically the invert. It's basically making the other trade off.
But isn't that the same thing? It's just inbound.
I don't know what.
Yeah, I don't.
So,
Well, okay,
so an
so
LSP never takes custody of your money. So you're trusting an LSP a lot less.
But
You're
if
trusting them
people
with
are-
your privacy. Though.
Exactly. But if people are sending me inbound Bitcoin, if I'm getting zapped, right? I'm getting zapped through Stacker News. Isn't that the same thing?
No,
as-
because the LSP cannot redeem that money. Only you can. You have a private key on your phone.
Yes. But I'm saying the spec that they're working to create
is not custodial.
is non-custodial. That's what I'm saying. But how is that any different than these multiple mints that you guys
Ecash is custodial. That's the main difference. The LSP thing is non-custodial. The Ecash.
But I'm
mints are
saying the
custodial.
idea of it. How is that any different?
Well, the idea is one is custodial and the other one is non-custodial. So I don't.
But I'm saying these two solutions will exist at some point.
Ecash is more private. So that's basically the thing. Ecash is more private, custodial.
But won't one with? Do you need both? Is what I'm trying to say.
The thing is, the preconditions for an LSP is a Lightning node. The preconditions for an LSP is a Lightning node, right?
Okay.
So it's like I can't just onboard from zero with an LSP. Like these
Gotcha.
LSPs are going
Okay.
to be more like for companies at first. But I mean, maybe a deeper sense that you're getting at is like, okay, in the future with this open LSP spec, you could have something like a marketplace of liquidity providers. Those aren't necessarily like banks or mints, but they can serve a similar function of like, yeah, just distributed market of liquidity you can tap into anonymously. And maybe that's similar to the idea of like this distributed marketplace of mints. But yeah, the custodial is just a huge difference. That's a huge downside on the Ecash side, but then the difficulty of getting set up on Lightning in the first place is a huge downside on the Lightning
I guess
side.
what I'm trying to get at, and I thank you for clearing that up because I didn't remember the word. But it was in my head. I was just trying to spit it out. So thank you for clearing that up. But doesn't it feel like everybody's skating to the same conclusion?
Oh,
Even though they're different trade-offs.
We'll make payments work on Bitcoin for everyone, right?
No, the solution, it feels like there's kind of like the Nostr solution. There's multiple relays. There's multiple front ends. There's multiple back ends.
I see the comparison you're making, but that I think that's decentralization. I think you're just observing decentralization.
Okay.
And and the fact that it's, I think it's finite decentralization, I think is something that's maybe different than Bitcoin's decentralization is like, you feel like the number of Bitcoin nodes is so numerous. We can't really count it, can't really quantify it. But when we're talking about Nostr relays, Ecash, these Ecash mints, or even LSPs, we're talking about tens, hundreds, everyone wants there to be thousands, millions, but right now, at least there's not so many of them. But I think that's just decentralization, early
Do
decentralization.
you think that's just a proliferation of decentralization that's happening on the Lightning Network that we're seeing now because it's already happened on the base layer?
Well, I think it's just going to, as we scale and new technology emerges, it will be less decentralized than later. And
Well, it seems like it's becoming more decentralized with these different methods.
Well, no, as it emerges, so we have a handful of LSPs right now, and when it's fully spec'd out, and you can download a binary and be an LSP yourself at a click of a button. Then there'll be more of them, and it'll eventually decentralize more. But to start, there was probably one LSP. Probably Async was probably their earliest LSP with the Phoenix wallet, and then we started seeing more of them. Breeze, I know. Then later on we saw a Cash App with C equals, and Zeus, and then more and more of them are participating in the spec process. So,
Yeah. Cool. Great conversation, guys. This was worthy of a top post. I take it back.
all right, wow. Car's come around to Ecash now that
Oh, no, totally
now that
not.
it's going to be a
Bitcoin
CBDC.
only. Bitcoin only.
I didn't realize Car was okay with Ecash so long as it was only a CBDC.
I said that from the very beginning. I'm okay with it as long as it's like, if we have to have a CBDC, I'd rather have an Ecash mint.
I think it's a good position to.
I was totally
Okay.
okay with it. I just didn't like that people were, in the very beginning, people were like, oh no, Bitcoin, Ecash is Bitcoin and it's just as good as Bitcoin and Ecash. And I remember thinking, I was like, that's such a stupid way to frame Ecash because you guys are coming from the top when you should just come from the bottom and you'll have more people on board with it. And now it's like they bent the knee now fully. And I remember thinking at the time, I was like, they shouldn't even tell people that they're using Ecash. They should just like, don't tell anybody that it's Ecash. Just roll it out. Like I'm sure Primal uses Ecash. I don't know if they do or not, but
they use
Oh, they do? Okay, but if it was Ecash, dude, it works amazing. That's what I'm saying. You shouldn't tell people what you're using. Just do it.
Did you KYC like KYC'd into you get probably your first last name email?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Kara's a Ecash believer now.
No, not at
so
all.
long as it's in Primal, he's an Ecash believer.
No, I mean if it makes things simple enough.
It improves your life.
Simple enough.
I think that's what people have been arguing with Ecash, but I think you're right. There were a lot of hyped up claims, and it takes a long time to wash out.
It was just the hyped up claims. It was just annoying because it was like,
Lightning's dead. Ecash is the.
But
future.
I thought the most interesting. This might have. I don't know if you guys saw this, but this is when I'm reading this right now, and I'll go back and look at this later because this is a tell. It seems like this thing is kind of like a really. There's another one. The CBDC thing is interesting. So there's projects that are already being, and there was never really proof of this, but like this could be really interesting because if you follow the money here, this will lead to exactly who's paying for it. And this was all, I'm not leading to anything. I'm just saying like, if I had my journalistic hat on, this will tell you exactly which people will be.
Well, these are directly funded by governments, I believe.
I know, and like that's where I'm wondering where these follow the money stackers. Huh?
Do they have the code?
I think for the GNU stuff, you definitely can. I don't know about this one.
But BIS is like.
Yeah, is that CBDC? If the
yeah, I mean, you could have terrible privacy in an open source project.
But look, it's Ecash. That's what I'm saying. But the BIS, make no mistake, man. That's all in the same vortex, no pun intended, as the WEF. So stay frosty out there, stackers. That was the only tell I noticed in all this. Anyways,
cool.
And that's all the top 5 stories of the week, stackers. Let's jump into my favorite segment of the week, Keyan's top stories. Keyan, what's this?
Oh, this is a great, this is posted by Aljaz. I believe Aljaz works on PubKey with John Carvalho.
Oh,
it's
cool.
Synonym. But they shared this Darknet marketplace post about the security in particular of one Darknet marketplace, which I believe, they kind of imply is run out of Germany. Let's see if I can find it here. It's called Archetype Market, and they basically kind of run through the things they do to secure the website and like some of the security assumptions. But one of them is like they don't use any JavaScript, but they still have an interactive application, and so they're describing how they have an interactive application without having JavaScript. Another thing is like encrypted messaging. They're using PGP to do encrypted messaging. So like when I'm looking at the sign up page on my computer here, and you have to put in your PGP public key, and you get a name, and the form looks great. It looks like a modern form, but it has no JavaScript. It's also interactive. And they spend a lot of time on the CAPTCHA systems. A lot of these darknet markets come up with while not having JavaScript, because CAPTCHAs are pretty interactive. And they're pretty, just like the hacks and like thoughtfulness that's required to pull such a thing off is pretty amazing. And then also the mirrors, and because these things commonly get taken down and they get like cloned and turned into like honeypots. And so they have a chain of authorized mirrors, I think. And they have like community mirrors that are external to the chain, but those are all PGP entities or like signed with PGP keys. Anyway, just a really cool article. And I didn't realize this stuff was happening in darknet markets. I guess this is one of the more popular ones. And the person that runs this darknet market is pretty outspoken, and they've done a few interviews. They speak great English, so it's obviously easier to spread the word on the market. But they talk about Ross Ulbricht a lot. The conclusion the author of this post comes to is that the person who's running this darknet market is positioning themselves as a martyr because they're terrible with their own personal OPSEC. Like they're a little too, they're talking to the public a little too much. They're disclosing a little too much, but they apparently this darknet market is also exclusively dedicated to drugs. So nothing but drugs. They don't do passports. They don't do.
Well, I never understood, like, when they talk about these things, I feel like those people just have two identities, right? Like, I never understood why they just don't have two identities. Ross had like 4 identities.
He's not using his, I don't think he's using his real name, but he is like discussing himself. Like you're always at risk of, revealing.
But wouldn't you just make 4 different identities though? Or 3 different?
You can make 3 different identities.
With 3 different backgrounds? I mean, that's what actors do.
Oh, I don't think, these people are coding most of the time. They're not audition, not preparing a background like that. But if someone wanted to be really great at OPSEC, that is,
I feel like that's what people would do though.
I don't think they would. I don't think people have that much time. I think ideally they would. So I agree with that. I don't think in practice they end up doing that. The ones who are really good at it, who you'd never know, are doing it.
That's just where my mind goes to based off of movies I watch.
Yeah. But I think this is a really cool post analyzing. I didn't know this was happening at all. I haven't been on a darknet market in
20 years.
A lot since Ross was running them, probably.
Sure. Sure, Keyan.
Yeah. Well,
probably on darknet markets all the time. We don't even know. Probably under Doob. Instead of Coob.
Well, that is not.
Dead giveaway.
I'd want to use it, but
or Boob.
I was trying to sign up for this one, and I was going to put in Coob. I'm like, oh, that's a bad idea. I should not do
funny. Just put Morpheus. Cool. What's your next? You got Meta here?
Meta, yeah. So we did. This is just like another wallet iteration where we did
more wallet stuff.
We'll be doing it till the end of the year. So,
gosh, man.
Yeah, it sucks, but that's what it is. Direct payments.
Get back to doing some site stuff.
We'll get there.
Give us some gifts or something. At least
we'll
drop us some freaking bones here.
We'll have a lot of suspense built up. We'll have a lot of energy to do it. So we'll come out hard with it. But direct payments to attached wallets. So if you attach a receiving wallet and someone zaps you, or they send to your Lightning address or something, it'll go directly to your node or whatever. What else is in here? Custom invite codes. We do fallbacks for wallets in the case of failures. This is, sort of we're getting a little far down the line where we're trying to really anticipate edge cases. But I think it'll be important later. Just a lot of bug fixes, iOS video uploads.
You made the iOS video uploads? Really?
You can do iOS video. I didn't do that. Saxosora.
When'd you
been
do
doing
that?
a lot of great stuff. That was as part of this release.
What's the upload on the?
What's the
upload limit on the video uploads?
I think it's 5
megabytes.
It's 50
megabytes.
I think it might be 50.
Oh wow!
I think it's after 50 megabytes we charge. When we charge you like a cent or something per something. I don't know. EK came up with the logic for that, but. It's pretty.
So what's the most?
It's not $7 a month for 50 megabytes. Oh, well, you were telling me.
Why are you taking shots for?
Because you were telling me how much you love.
Primal was good.
Good. I know, but you're telling me how much you love paying $7 a month for.
Yeah, I think you should charge something.
I know, and you were telling me I should do it. I just don't. I'd rather charge someone 10 cents 1 month a year the one time when they upload the video. But maybe it's like a bad business idea, but.
It's one it's however you want to do it.
I don't know.
I think when I say that, I think there's just more people on Stacker News that would pay that kind of like ace whatever model.
KR was a big fan of this. He wanted us to do like a premium tier where you get to use emojis in your titles.
And I'm just telling you because I run Pleb Lab and I've seen like people like will come in and they won't leave. Do you know what I mean? Like once they start paying, they won't leave, or at least you pray they don't leave. But it's because there's that model that's built in.
Yes.
That once people
forget to check their credit card.
Well, once they get used to paying for something, it just becomes a thing.
Yeah, I do. I would guess there's a large,
and then you get sats
a double-digit portion,
and then there's like these type of things.
Economic activity is that forgotten subscriptions. And I think it's fine.
But it could backfire for Stacker News because you give more than you receive.
Yeah, I don't know. I think for uploads, I'd rather just give them for free than charge for them.
Yeah.
But we did that just to prevent certain kinds of abuse.
I'm curious to see where it goes. I mean, it's an experiment, right?
Yeah. Anyway, but we had video uploads before, but now you can do them directly from iOS, and now.
So my question is, so the streamable stuff, because we use streamable too as well, and then you can paste. Is that still a thing, or is that going away? Or you can paste like a streamable video link.
You can post the link.
You can still do that. Okay.
You can still paste the link in there. I think the upload limits are still there. So I think it would be a challenge to probably drop like anything like a video over 10 minutes that isn't optimized. Probably we just haven't spent a lot of time thinking about how to get like more media on the site. And we just didn't want, so we have this protection, this like tiered pricing for, anyway, this was just a lot of bug fixes mostly, and continue to work on wallets. And I think we're planning to do the non-custodial switch on January 3rd, which is.
What do you mean? I thought you already did the non-custodial stuff.
Hold your own keys. We did not do the switch as we went over, we postponed it. And we continue to work on them, but we haven't done the official switch where you will not be able to zap people with custodial Bitcoin Bitcoin we are custodying. That will be the switch.
So all the Bitcoin that I have right now in Stacker News, those aren't credits? Those aren't
credits. Those are actual Bitcoin.
Oh, I thought I was using Cowboy credits already.
Nope.
No, this whole time.
Yeah, and after the switch, those will stay Satoshis, but you won't be able to zap with them. You'll have to either purchase Cowboy credits or.
I thought I was really using Cowboy credits.
You are not. Everyone is still using custodial sats at the moment.
Oh, well, in that case, we'll roll the dice and see.
Yeah.
So what's going on with the territory stuff? Do we get any extra stuff for territories?
You'll get them once we have time to work on them.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah. You can also let it lapse and someone else will.
Yeah. Did you ever figure out how you're going to do the.
No, I have not figured it. It'll probably happen after the wallet switch. We'll have to think about
just
it.
some sort of message that lets you know.
Oh, for notifications.
For notifications. Just like an admin notification system of a sort. Just so I can go in there. I mean, just give us like a territory, like options, or you know what I mean? Like where you just settings, a territory settings page. And then like, where do you want to get notifications at? Oh, this stacker, give him notifications or whatever. Make them admin. I don't know. Something.
Okay. Maybe we'll do like an email. I think I'm trying to look for the most generic
because I
solution.
totally forget. Anyways, cool.
Fair.
Awesome. We're going to jump into my top stories of the week, Stackers. So Keyan, Bitcoin breaks 100K, and then everybody came on Stacker News and shared all sorts of things. Did you see that?
I saw it. That happened on Wednesday, and we were at the Austin Bitcoin Club when it happened. We missed it.
No, at Design Club. We were at Design Club.
The Design Club.
What did you? I thought that for a second I was talking to you in your office, and then I came outside and I looked at the block clock, and I had a second look, and I was like, "Hey, what's wrong with the?" And then I saw it. I was like, "Wait, 103," because I didn't see the dollar sign. I was like, "Oh crap, Bitcoin broke 100K." That was my moment. How did you find out?
From you said I was there when that happened, and you shouted back into my office. That happened, and I looked, and then I was like, "Wow, what happened?"
So it broke around that time, then.
I would guess, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Stackers were pretty excited.
They were.
Top comment was from Jason B. Says, "You know that thing you do with your odometer? Well, this was me at that moment." And then he shared some post. I don't understand what that was.
Oh, you look at the top. Or it says 100,000 exactly.
Oh,
so he was
wow.
watching. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's one of the things. That's one of the things I definitely appreciate about Stacker News is seeing the price of Bitcoin while I'm on there. I feel like everybody should have that. Nasser should have that. Why doesn't Nasser have that feature?
Well, it's not. That would be just a client that would implement that, and
I feel like Primal should have that.
That would make sense. Maybe you want to, as a premium subscriber, maybe you can You can send them your birth certificate.
I'll tell them. I'll tweet it
this
out.
Feature
Tweet it out.
request.
I mean, I don't understand why they don't have that. It's a very Bitcoin thing to do. And then this guy says, not sure if Bitcoin value is going up or if fiat value is going down. What do you think there?
Yeah, I think this has been said a lot of times over the years. Probably fiat, probably both.
Yeah, I think you get to buy more things now. Is that you?
That is me on my horse, Sally.
That's crazy. How do you even know you had your own horse?
That's right, I do, and I occasionally wear a vest.
Happy 100 stackers. Been waiting for this one. Oh, wow. Double malt. Whistle pig, 18. That's a good way to celebrate.
Yeah.
That's how some stackers were celebrating. I was shocked that it broke to 103. Did not see that coming.
Yeah.
That was Darth Coin.
Darth Coin, chipper as always.
Yep, there you go. That's Darth Coin. That doesn't care. There you go.
Cricket.
Darth Coin also said, seeing Bitcoiners making price predictions, it is not different than shitcoiners pumping numbers. And then Desert Dave said, join some coffee.
Nice.
There you go. My next story I want to bring up was, why do geniuses like Elon Musk and Sam Altman overlook Bitcoin, Keyan? According to Nobody, he said, as you know, a lot of us teenagers nowadays, including me, admire Elon. But he's wondering why they don't seem to care much about Bitcoin. Keyan, what do you think? Why doesn't Elon and Sam give a crap about Bitcoin, Keyan?
Well, I don't know what either of them give a crap about. I would guess that Sam probably hates Bitcoin because he hates everything that
it's not AI.
Yeah, that is. Well, I think he seems like a narcissist to me.
Who, Sam Altman? Does he? No, he doesn't.
He doesn't seem like it to you?
No, he seems like a very depressed guy to me.
That's interesting. I kind of see him as. He
seems like a very emotionally depressed
narcissist.
Seems like an emotionally depressed guy. Have you ever seen him like on his like YC videos that he does?
Yeah,
his old ones. Yeah, he seems like a very emotionally depressed guy.
Oh, it's very common in these overachievers to have stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know what either of them think. If I had to guess, I'd say Sam Altman really isn't into it. Elon Musk, I would guess, is sort of. There's several clips of him talking about it. He talks about Doge, sure, but maybe he doesn't. Maybe he believes they're somewhat related somehow. But I don't think they definitely don't get it. And then what did he say? Oh, yeah, I think Nobody said he's 16 or something, or he said in another post somewhere that he's quite young, and that Elon says that he doesn't believe Bitcoin will replace fiat. And I just, it's just another prediction. Even like Elon doesn't know much about Bitcoin. So why should we trust his predictions on it? I trust his predictions about lots of things that he works on day and night on, like rockets and stuff.
But he started a payments company. You don't think that makes a difference? He
started like a fiat payments company, and he wasn't like the chief technical person. That was gosh, I forget his name. But they had a cryptographer who started the predecessor to PayPal, that I think was originally working with Thiel.
Yeah.
And then
I think with Elon, I think it's actually more incentives. Like there's no incentive for him to get into it. Plus, like he runs like 4 or 5 companies. And you know this, Keyan, like it's hard to even focus on one company all the time, much less 4 or 5. And then Bitcoin's such a hard thing to really get into and wrap your head around. And I just think that you would have to really, really focus a lot of your time just to wrap your head around it and then really dive deep into it. And he doesn't seem like the type that has the time to do that. And then Sam Altman, I think he actually probably does have Bitcoin. He seems like a person that, because he's YC, right? So he's
holding it on Coinbase.
Yeah, he's probably holding it on Coinbase, but he looks at it more like, investment diversification, how do you say that? Diversification more so than anything. So I think that's how he sees it. He doesn't see it as That's the way we see it, as like a technology that could be wielded. That's kind of my 2 cents on both of those. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's roughly correct, and that's what I said.
You said people make lots of predictions, end up being right about some.
Yeah. See that a lot in Bitcoin, where people are like, this person's predictions are always right, but the person makes about 1,000 predictions a year. And
That's me. Yeah.
You make 1,000 predictions, and no one will remember, because
You only bring up the right ones.
Yeah, in the future, you'll bring up the ones you were right on. And no one's going to go back and look at all the dumb stuff you said. Who would want to do that? It's boring. But so they just begin believing you're a prophet.
That's what you do. That's what you do. You just keep predicting. The next one I want to bring up was Sunday survey. Do you believe in aliens? Dude, there's a ton of alien stuff showing up on my YouTube. I'm not sure if you're seeing it.
The UAP stuff?
Dude, everywhere, dude. I feel like there's just this resurgence now that Trump is the new head of chief. Now there's like probably some like black budget opportunities out there for people to raise on, and just seeing tons of opportunities out there to let's psyop the public into believing there's maybe some alien stuff that needs to be built, or who knows, whatever the crap. Anyways, I asked the stackers on Sunday for Sunday survey, do they believe aliens? Do they believe in aliens? And the vast majority of them actually, and I think we asked this like a year ago, 51% said yes, 28% said no, and then 20%, which I'm very proud, said Bitcoin fixes this. Where did you land on?
I don't know if Bitcoin fixes whether people believe in aliens or not.
Totally does.
But I believe in aliens, but not aliens. I'm not sure I believe in aliens that have visited. I am open to the possibility that they have, and I like thinking about it, and
You love aliens.
I like thinking about aliens. I like considering aliens. I conflate aliens with religious stuff. Angels. Are aliens actually angels? I like all that kind of stuff.
I love, dude. This you should watch this. So, Snackers. This is the one that hooked me in this whole thing. This is why I started going down this whole alien thing again. Was UFOs are time machines. So
interested in them together as
apparently,
you have one remarkable experience. It's going to
apparently this guy. If you go to this post here, Wumbo shares this, but this guy talks about how like time travel is a real reason governments and everybody and their mama is really looking into the UAP phenomenon. It's not because of aliens. It's because of if aliens have the means to travel across vast distances, they probably also have the means to time travel. And then so they're discussing that. What do you think about that?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just right there in front of us the whole time.
Yeah, I think it's pretty solid. I don't know about. I think it could be.
Because
a lot of people
you potentially can already. Apparently, you can time travel. They were talking about this. Like, apparently, there's a way to, it has to do with like electrical magnets or something that you can jump into like this big old type of like, I don't know, this iron furnace of a sort and run electromagnetic waves around it and do all sorts of like cool Tesla coil stuff. And time will slow down inside of this thing that you're in this capsule. And when you step out of it, time outside of it will have, it's kind of basically like Dragon Ball Z, where it's like a hyperbolic chamber where time slows down for you inside of the hyperbolic chamber and time outside of the hyperbolic chamber speeds up.
That already
they already have that. Apparently that's already a thing.
Well, this is like a well-known phenomenon. This is basically what Einstein uncovered, is that if you're like, this theory of relativity, general theory of relativity. But if you're like traveling really fast, you experience time slower than someone who relative to you is stationary. So that's like if you've seen it's not the movie Extra. What's the movie? Interstellar. Yeah. So that's why his like daughter ages while he doesn't. Is because he's traveling at very high speed, and so he experiences time much more slowly than she does.
But maybe it starts. That's what like, so they go into this conversation that maybe it actually starts in this kind of capsule first. And that is the thing that actually, that has
I see. You don't need to be traveling at high speed. You just need this capsule.
But maybe, and then, okay, so once you figure that out, then the capsule is the thing that you then need to make move through time. Once you first accomplish the means of with building that thing first. And so they were talking about it, and I thought that was really cool. I was like, wow, I never thought of that. So what I'm trying to say is, like, maybe it's just us. Maybe it's just future versions of us that are actually coming back. And it's not UFOs, and it's not UAPs, and it's not aliens. It's actually just future humans that are coming back in time, like changing shit.
Oh, that would
or extracting. Yeah, you wouldn't know. Or extracting things.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. Anyways, something to look into.
Yeah, aliens are cool. There's a lot of, I have seen a lot of posts about drones over military bases on the coast, on the East Coast and stuff.
What do you mean, like recently?
Yeah, like a lot of that. I think I've seen some posts about it, some articles about it. Anyway, but that, I don't know if that's just like military stuff is happening. I don't know.
Yeah. Weird stuff, man.
Aliens.
The other thing I wanted to share was Hackalajara. So I interviewed a couple people during my trip last week to Guadalajara for the hackathon, and I shared it on Snacker News. And I also interviewed Chris Guida today, that I'll be releasing tonight. And we talk about a lot of Bolt 12 stuff, Covenant stuff, and Lightning protocol stuff, and a lot of the building that he's doing down there. So just wanted to share that. Look at that. Pretty cool.
Look at that.
Talk about everything.
Car talks about a vibrant ecosystem.
It's all ChatGPT.
I know. It's like,
Dude, I don't bother. It's like,
I know, but
it's just consumption. Everybody's going to listen to it anyway. I know you hate that kind of stuff.
Well, I read it and I'm like, okay, well, why'd they give up here? This is like this is the first thing I'm going to read.
I care
and they
more
give up
about the
first thing I'm
image.
gonna read.
Like, I actually take time and make the image, but I don't care about the thing here.
I know. I think it's like one of the most important things is like the summary, because that's what I read before I actually engage in
play.
something. It's like I think it's as important as the image. I think the image is important too, but I think
the summary makes more of a difference.
I think the summary is important, because if I read the summary and I don't like it, I won't listen. Just like if I saw this image and it were crappy,
you can thank Sam Altman for that.
So. Maybe
the other thing I wrote about was learning resilience. So it's been a while since I've been able to write, but I just wanted to touch on a couple of different things. Talk about Hackalajara. I have this problem where I got inspired to write this the other night, because I don't know if you remember, Sahil he kind of was showing about his newsletter and stuff like that. And,
that's right.
Yeah. And I was just so inspired after that thing. I was like, man, I feel like writing something. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to piece together some stuff that I've been thinking about. So yeah, I was just talking about this Bitcoin in a post ETF world at the Snackers.
I think I read this one.
Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah. And I was just talking about stuff like that, and, and just my normal ramblings that I always do. But yeah, if anybody's interested,
some cool links.
Anybody's interested in looking at my craziness, check it out. And that's pretty much it. That's all we got, Snackers. We're going to jump into the top. Let's see if I got this. Top stackers of the week. Keyan. You're going to put on the... Oh, yeah. We don't put on the hat yet.
No, hat doesn't come.
Doesn't
you
come
get mad
out.
at me. I have to. I can only have a specific time.
Stackers in hiding. These are the million stacker Bitcoiners here who are high.
I've started to stack more than I'm spending, which is pretty interesting.
Well, as you should.
And I'm one of the bigger spenders. I think it's from the Bitcoin territory. I think this month that territory has earned me. I mean, it's like the highest earning territory, so it's not, and I'm obviously the first territory, but it's almost earned me 1 million sats.
Damn.
And then revenue, which is
crazy.
Yeah, really interesting actually. Yeah, lots of top stackers, least of which is me. But Gray Ruby, Undisciplined, rsync, always in the list. EK, climbing up. I don't think I've seen EK this high on the list in a
Desert
while.
Dave. I'm single.
I'm
0x
single.
Bitcoiner.
I thought I Am Single rage quit on me the other day, but
Really?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. I think he was upset about Darth Coin. I think Darth Coin called he said, if you want to milk your mom's ass. And he didn't.
0x. Where? Let me see. See if we can find it. I like some good.
He might have deleted it. I don't know.
Okay, I can't find it.
Wait, why is it bringing up? Whose profile are you on? You're in
0x Bitcoiner. Yeah.
Oh, no, not 0x, but I Am Single is the one that rage quit. That I thought rage quit. That told me they were rage quitting.
Oh, wow. I mean, it's kind of weird to rage quit on a bull run. Usually,
there we go. Here we
go. Bear cycle.
Oh,
here it goes.
This is the rage quit post.
Because I'm listening and I get your point about moderation on Saturdays, but this is different. He said a lot of other things to me. He's doing this. Who's he talking to? Is he talking to you?
He's telling me. He's telling me he's quitting.
Oh, okay. He goes. I mostly post links on Saturdays. Sorry, I listen to Coop say SN is like news aggregator. Many others post links to news. Who came up with the word ass milking?
Well, it was just Darth Coin. But Scoresby did a great post explaining the meaning of ass milking. And
yeah, I saw a couple posts this week about Darth Coin. And I was like, why are people like writing posts about Darth Coin? Like, why don't they just write on his? Like, you can just go to his thing and like right here, like on his. Like, you can write in his comments. Like, why don't you just write here about him?
Well, they don't. They want other people to like see their thoughts on Darth Coin and agree with them. I don't want to see that
on my feed.
I don't want to see it either. But other people want to. See, other people love discussing.
I feel like that's ass milking.
Yeah, and Darth Coin will call it ass milking.
I feel like when you're making I feel like when you're making a post about. I feel like when you're making a post about Darth Coin is ass milking. Is that Darth milking? I feel like that's Darth milking.
Yeah, they're ass milking Darth ass.
They're Darth ass milking.
Yeah.
There you go. I made it up.
They're getting a big glass of Darth milk.
That's what they're doing. I mean,
I don't know. It
was weird. I saw that twice this week. I was like, why are they making posts about somebody?
There's a big. They've been, Darth Coin has been going hard, and with and other people going, are very upset about it. And,
but it's weird to see Darth Coin also play into it too.
I think
he's just defending.
No, Darth Coin, I don't think he's playing into it. I think he's Darth Coin. He's gonna exhaust you. He has his life force comes not from his body, but from the universe, from midichlorians.
So Scoresby made a post. I Googled ass milking so you don't have to. That's funny. I don't see Scoresby's posts anymore because I blocked them.
Yeah. Because of the Ecash?
Yeah, it's just too much.
But now once we have the
Ecash.
CBDC, you can unblock him.
Well, I mean, if he stops doing Ecash stuff, I'll block him.
I don't think he's done one for a bit.
He said he was still going to do it. So next time I see him, if I ask him again, he says he stops, then I'll do it.
All right. Okay.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Great week.
Let's go into the top Cowboys of the week. Yeehaw. This is the most for anybody that's never seen this segment before. This is actually one of the most popular segments in Bitcoin. It's surprising to me because I thought it was the least popular. I used to go on record saying this is the least popular segment. No one's going to stick around for this stupid segment. I used to hate it. And then we were in Nashville and I got booed out of the room, literally.
Yeah.
And everybody, and even people that I respected were like, Car, stop saying that. You're wrong. Yeah. And come to find out, this is actually the most popular segment in Bitcoin. And even BTC Sessions, who used to go live at the same time we did, stopped going live because he realized this is the most popular segment. He want to compete with it.
All the biggest influencers, they've reached out. They through back channels. They've reached out, tried to get us to stop this segment.
I know it's
destroying them.
It's destroyed. Like even they were like, "Hey, we might want to go at the same time Stacker News Live goes on," and they tried a couple times, but they're like, "We can't go on at the same time Stacker News Live goes on because
you guys keep that segment.
If they keep this cowboy segment, there's no way we can go against it." And I think it's because of that stupid hat. It works for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's part of it.
So we're gonna keep doing it because it's the most popular segment in Bitcoin and. It's still not sponsored, but hey, if you're interested.
Yeah, Brinson, sponsoring this controversial.
I heard the Bitcoin Well
Maybe
is sponsoring things.
maybe we get BTC Sessions to sponsor it. We'll put up a link to his podcast, which coincides with this one.
Do you think he watches this show?
Definitely not.
Definitely. Do you think any influencers?
I don't think there's anyone.
Well, I know Jimmy watches it. He told me he watches it.
I don't think he watches that.
Dude,
regularly.
he said he watched it.
I bet there are stackers that. I bet there's a couple of stackers that watch it, and we know them well. We talk.
Yeah,
about
I think
them.
our friends watch it.
Yeah,
Like
but
Ben tells me he watches it.
he probably
sometimes.
watches it sometimes.
Tony watches it.
Yeah, begrudgingly. They maybe like throw darts at their TV, that type of thing.
Tony's watching this right now because he's like, oh, I got to watch this. Cars like talking about Ecash.
I don't think Tony is. Tony's like
Tony like.
Tony's transcended Bitcoin. He's
No,
like,
but I'm
he's like
saying-
the blue guy.
I'm saying Tony does
in,
love us though. I love Tony.
That superhero series.
But I'm saying like I think our friends do watch this. Hi friends, we love you. But I think Jimmy is the only one that actually watches.
I don't think he does.
He said he
It's
does.
too important. I mean, he was. Do you hear it? He was on a really important panel.
Yesterday?
Yeah, they were talking about. The really
It was
important-
good,
oh, it
dude. I
like
was
the
watching
biggest
it in
brains in Austin. A lot of them.
Dude, I mean like they're legends, dude.
Yeah, that was a crazy good panel.
They even had me go up there.
What was
I
it?
was like, dude, why do you have me going up there for?
Well, it's because you're like the.
No, but
Or-
Michael was like, hey, I want you to go up there and say these two things. I'm like, but why?
Well, you talked about stuff that you know well.
Yeah, I know, but I
about.
was just kind of shocked. I
He
was
didn't,
like,
he didn't ask you to go up there and talk about communism. You know.
dude, I would have loved to talk about
Just that's subject.
Dude, it would be. I can't wait till the day they ask me to go up there and do a panel like that with these other legends. I'm gonna just be totally off left field. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck is up with Car?" Anyways,
I had a funny. I can't say it. It's
Why
too
not?
late. It's like racist. I was gonna say like when you go off like that, you're Whitney Webb, but you're Whitney Webback.
it's terrible.
It's also
terrible.
not good. It's racist and not good.
It's
not good
terrible.
enough. It almost connects.
I'm not even offended.
I-
Okay.
I know you wouldn't be, but I thought
That's
it
funny.
would just. It's such a
Somebody's
bad-
probably offended at home though.
no.
Maybe
no
my
one should
sister.
be.
No, my sister wouldn't get offended at that. She'd probably laugh.
She doesn't. Yeah. I mean, that's not even a bad. That's like saying it's calling someone hardworking. What a diss.
What was I going to say? All right, let's get into the top Cowboys of the week. Fire them up, Keyan.
Okay. Well, I'm still of the people not hiding. It's still me.
Oh,
I'm
you
the
wait,
top-
you're 49 days
The head
with the
honcho.
shooter?
Yeah, the shooter I can keep. I can maintain that.
Shoot, apparently. Look, you got 50 days coming. So you're not going to redo these, are you?
What do you mean?
Because so you should have. Look, so undisciplined should be number one. This is what I was telling you last time, dude.
Well, dude, I'm telling you, I don't have, I got to do one thing at a time. We're working on wallets. It's super hard.
What I'm saying, like, look, undisciplined has a cowboy hat, a horse, and a shooter. You only have a shooter and a cowboy hat.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. And we should correct that.
Because, I mean, what's a cowboy if he doesn't have a horse?
Well, I could shoot if I have a gun. I could shoot.
So does he.
I could shoot. I could be in an open field because I have a hat and not be glaring my eyes from the sun, and I could shoot someone while they're on their horse and steal it.
See, Gray Ruby also has the same thing too. I don't know. You got to fix this.
I would love. You know what we should have? We should have a badge that's like tag.
What do you mean a tag?
You like zap someone to take the badge from them.
What do you mean a badge?
Like tag. Like okay, we have a badge, but there's only one of them.
Like a sheriff?
Maybe a sheriff, but you have to find the person with the badge, and the only way you can get it is by zapping them. And so then you have people trying to find the sheriff and zapping them to get the badge.
Oh,
and
wow. How much is it the zaps though? How much are we talking here?
I don't know. Maybe it'd be like 100 sats to claim.
The sheriff to be the sheriff in the town?
Yeah, to claim the sheriff badge.
Oh,
maybe
wow. You should do it per territory.
you'd have one per territory.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
that's-
the
that's
Bitcoin.
an
Oh,
idea.
dude, you should totally do it per territory. That way, like the Bitcoin territory will be like the highly coveted badge.
Yeah.
How you know what it could probably lead to? Shitcoin. Are there any privileges in having the badge?
No, you don't get any privileges.
You just gotta have the badge.
You just gotta have a badge.
I think that's fair, but it would suck though if like a shitcoiner comes and like has the territory.
Yeah, I guess the sheriff's badge.
Yeah, I'd be like,
I
oh,
get to do
like who's the sheriff of the Bitcoin territory? And it's like fucking shitcoiner, you know. You never know.
You never know.
I guess that
Anyway,
could be fine.
Yeah, that's one. We have so many ideas for badges. Like the other day, we had an idea for a sheriff badge like a year ago. It would be the highest spender. The highest spender for the day would get the sheriff's badge. And they carry it into the next day until there was a new highest spender.
No, that sounds.
It's not as cool as tag. Tag is way more active.
Yeah, I feel like
and fun.
tag is way more.
It's got to figure
Because
out.
I would love to do that. Just to be, I would do it
Sounds
right
fun.
before Saturday News Live every week and be like, I'm the sheriff.
I'm the sheriff now, bitch.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So you're thinking sheriff badge at some point.
Well, yeah, we thought that would be a compliment. We have too many badges now. Now it's like,
I mean, you might as well do them all.
it's just like, but it's taking up so much room in the UI.
No, you should do. Remember, I was telling you, you hover, and then
Then it shows the full the full thing. That would be cool, but now you don't get. You kind of want to be able to see.
I'm not even on here, am I?
Probably not.
That's sad, dude.
Been too busy.
That's sad.
You're preparing for your opener yesterday.
Where is this? I'm not on here.
You're like beyond 100. I saw
Jeez.
Christopher David from Open Agents.
Yeah,
Portuguese
I'm not even at
holder.
top 50. Wow. I mostly I was
Like
mostly on here
coin.
like, oh, there you go. Yeah, cowboy hat. Boom.
You had it for a day, dude.
Well, I was busy when I was at the
Look at
airport.
even you're in profit. Look at that. You're up
Barely.
You're up
I-
100K.
I'm what's the opposite of an ass milker?
We talked about
Dark
this.
sapper.
It's
I zap everything.
you're milking the front side instead. That's the opposite.
Yeah, I zap a lot of people. I like to zap. 19 referrals though. Where's my badge for that? Look at that.
People
dude.
have way out. I mean, I have like hundreds.
Dude, I always refer Stacker News. Look at that, 19, dude. Do I have the most? Oh,
Look at
no,
that.
I don't.
100. I have 194.
Look,
TN Stacker has 41.
19 though. Oh, Wild Hustle, wow, 109. Never mind, that's not a lot. Oh, right, so looks like Blockchain Book. 1.2. Jeez, Blockchain Book. It's crazy.
Blockchain Boot is a big spender. We had those at one point. Undisciplined had those like that quadrant chart, and I think Blockchain Boog was like the biggest like degen. I don't know what he called it. Was it
He
degen?
likes to spend his sats the way he likes to. Did you see Hacker News when Bitcoin hit 100K? They were just shitting on it. What's up with that, dude?
I do not know.
Is that a reflection on like Y Combinator, or is that a reflection just on Hacker News?
I think it's mostly Hacker News. I think it has its own distinct culture. So I don't.
Why is that, Keyan? Even they still don't get it, even at 100K.
Have you ever read that post? Why yuppies don't get Bitcoin?
No.
It's a great post. It's like from years ago, but it pretty much explains the phenomena, I think, pretty well. I forget the exact details, but I think the high level is something like I think they're like they're actually I don't remember it at all. I thought I would remember some of it, but it's a great post explaining it. I think it explains it pretty clearly and makes a compelling case, such that I remember it did, but I don't remember what it said. Basically, they're into like very technical, minutia is my memory, and establishment, verification of ideas, and Bitcoin kind of has none of those, or none of the
Interesting.
things that they normally associate with a reputable project.
Damn. How does that make you feel?
Makes me feel perfectly okay. I feel fine. It's going to be a great week. Full circle.
Cool. Well, that's the most popular segment in Bitcoin.
That's right.
Top
People come
Cowboys.
from around the world. They come from other planets to watch this segment.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
the UAPs are all about. They're trying to get on the segment. They can't figure out the colloidal chamber that Car is talking about yet. Exactly.
Colloidal chamber. Or
to get-
no, yeah.
To get right to this moment. They'll figure it out someday and be able to get on this segment.
Yeah. Got Undergotten said, we're traveling forward in time right now. There you go.
We all are time travelers, aren't we?
I think so, yeah.
Big idea.
Cool. Keyan. We don't have any zaps on Fountain because it's 100K, so
Really?
people
People are
aren't,
getting
Yeah,
What?
I didn't see any. People are streaming sats, but they're not like actually like
Boosting anymore?
Yeah, I think it's because it's like a.
Do they still call them boosts? Or have they changed the name to Zaps? Have I won?
Was it you that invented Zaps or Oscar?
I didn't invent Zaps.
The word Zap.
The Zap name was Jack Mahler's.
Wow.
His Lightning wallet was called Zap.
Oh, so he invented the term Zap.
Well, his Lightning wallet was called Zap. KR and I discussed calling tips on Stacker News Zaps, but I was like, Jack Mahler's wallet is called Zap. So can we use that to describe it? And we didn't use it. I think then we had to wait until William JB55 was brave enough and
Called it Zaps?
Yeah, created
Thomas
and the Zap protocol on Noster and called it Zaps. And it's like, oh, we could have just called it Zaps this whole time. Why would anyone care?
So Jack named it Zaps.
No, I think it was William called tipping Zaps. So I would say that William did that. I think Jack Mahler's successfully associated Zaps with Lightning.
Yeah.
First instance of that, I would say.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What are you doing this weekend?
I was going to watch the documentary, No More Inflation. It looked really good. I watched the trailer.
No More Inflation. What's that?
It's a Bitcoin documentary by so-called Bitcoin shooter. And it's about, I believe.
Oh, wow. Did you just come up on Google? Wow. Look at that, dude. I thought that never happened.
Oh, we come up occasionally.
That's crazy.
We actually I think we have 1.6 million hits per month
When
on
did you start
Google.
showing up on Google? I thought they hated you. That's crazy.
I think they do probably hate us, but at some point they can't. I mean, we probably don't rank very highly, but according to them, we're seen 1.6 million times in search results every month, which is not nothing. Anyway, but this documentary looks really good. It looks really well made. It's about, I think, humanitarian aid and Bitcoin and and inflation and the role it plays. I think in that is
Graham Hancock's in there?
Yeah, he got an interview with Graham Hancock on it.
How do you get in there though? It's $10 or something.
Yeah, you pay $10 and then you get you have 7 days to watch it and 3 watches. You get to go through it.
Interesting.
So I hope you get to pay with Bitcoin.
Where do you watch it at though? It doesn't look like
on his website.
Oh, you just take out the watch part, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, that's the trailer.
Cool. Oh, there it goes. Cool.
Yeah, looks really well done.
Whoa.
My grandparents.
Oh, interesting.
A house and a summer house. Have a farm. Remember when you?
Oh, so it's real footage. It's not just like stock footage.
No, it's not a YouTube documentary. It's he actually went out and interviewed people, made his own animation.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's not just stock footage. I hate documentaries that just use stock footage the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, they're okay if you're like stoned and you're learning about a conspiracy online or something. But
yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's.
I'll wait for your write up on it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to write up about it because I might not have anything to say. But
featuring Graham Hancock, we got tours on there.
Got Matt Hill,
Huddle Tarantula,
Rockstar,
Dread,
Ione Appleberg.
That's cool.
Texas Slim.
Like you should have had Parker on there. I don't see Parker on there. He definitely knows a lot about inflation. Interesting. Cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So you're watching that this weekend?
I'll probably watch that. I'll give that a try.
I've been watching Silo. Watched the new episode.
You talk about that. There's only so many episodes. There's only like 5 episodes.
Last episode last night was okay. It was okay. I mean, I'm still in, Keyan. Can't wait to see where it goes.
I haven't watched
I
that
mean,
one yet.
they sent her out to clean, and she's done more than clean.
I started watching
She
Goliath.
shook it up.
Okay. She's shaking it up.
Does
I read the
Snackers
book.
talk
so
about
it's
Silo or no?
Probably not. I think we talked about.
Oh yeah. See, Snackers talk about Silo.
Yeah, Darth Coin shared it. I think it was originally brought up in a thread where someone was like, Bitcoiners are saying that people should watch Silo because it's a bit like Plato's Cave and people believing a sort of lie and their dynamic with the authorities.
It's kind of one of those things where I'm realizing now, like once you kind of know the truth, it unlocks more things. And yeah, man, like it's like fudge. And like, did you really want to know all of that? And like right now we're in the second season and you're finding out more stuff. And she's like, fuck, she's trying to put the rabbit back in the hat. Sometimes you just can't.
Don't spoil it. But yeah. I think it's okay. I've still been watching Landman, which is good.
With Billy Bob,
which is good. I think one time you told me that our friend BTC Retriever reminds you of Billy Bob.
I never said
Is that
that. No, I never.
I think I thought that's what you said.
I said La Bamba.
Oh, La Bamba.
Yeah.
He reminds me of actually Billy Bob Thornton.
You mean his character?
No.
You mean his demeanor?
I mean, just Billy Bob. Something about Billy Bob's facial expressions.
Interesting. I never really looked into it. Did I ever tell you I met Billy Bob Thornton?
No.
Yeah, I met him in Austin in like 2004 or something, I want to say.
Well, that's a long time
At a
ago.
Slick Willie's. I think that's up north. I don't know if it's still there anymore.
It's a barbecue joint, eh?
No, it's a pool hall.
Okay.
And it was me, my girlfriend at the time, and her dad. We were waiting for her brother to show up so we could play some pool, hang out. And there was this guy who called himself Neil. And I didn't know who he was. I just turned 21. And he was sitting there at the bar. And you know the way I am. I talk to everybody. I don't give a crap. Everybody's my friend.
It's your superpower.
Yeah, I started talking to him. We started talking about some stuff. And Eddie at the time was like, "Hey, who are you talking to? That looks like Billy Bob Thornton." And I was like, "Oh no, his name's Neil. He's we're talking about he was playing some kind of like that golf game that you do with the thing where you go like that. He was playing that. And he was just drinking a drink. And then her brother shows up, and the brother was like full on like he just didn't care. He would go up to somebody and actually talk to him. And that guy actually went and said, "Hey, did you know that you're Billy Bob Thornton?" And he goes, "In fact, I am." And he totally talked to. Yeah, he blew his color, and then he was like, "Yeah, nice to meet you." I was like, "Wait, you're Billy Bob Thornton?" He's like, "Yeah, like from Armageddon." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, that's crazy." I was like, "I didn't even know that was you." And then if my girlfriend wasn't there, I would ask him about Angelina Jolie, but didn't get that chance.
Oh, is that when he was dating Angelina Jolie?
I think so. Or that was after. That was after Angelina Jolie.
Should have checked him, touched his chest to check for that vial of blood.
Yeah, I remember because that was the whole thing, dude.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's my Billy Bob Thornton story.
Yeah, cool. I've been watching Goliath. I was going to bring that up because I've been watching Goliath.
He's on that too?
He's in Goliath, which is like this.
He's a cool dude, man. He's cool as shit.
I've become a fan of his.
I think that's why. I think that's why he gets the chicks, dude. He's just cool as you meet those guys. It's just cool. Just like
he's just complete. He's like 100% aloof. Like 100%.
He just owns his space. He's just like kind of like he reminds me of how Marty. You met Marty.
No,
like
I haven't. But
well, he's kind of like Marty, where when you meet Marty's just kind of just like owns a space. He just he's just cool. And you know how to explain it. You just get in his aura. And just like
the aura.
Cool
it's warm.
Dude.
It's like a little jacuzzi.
I mean,
of an aura.
That's the way Marty is. Just a cool dude. And you just can't help it.
Yeah.
It's like that. That's how Billy Bob Thornton is.
I think it is. Yeah. He's like on. It's kind of weird. It's like he's like I.
You get in their orbit and you just feel in their orbit.
Yeah. Ah. All right. Yeah, I just I like Billy Bob Thornton now.
Yeah.
I didn't really like him before. I think
that's interesting.
Some of his recent work is good. Yeah.
Anyways,
those are my plans. So what are you doing? You said you already watched Silo.
I watched Silo last night. I gotta work tomorrow. Gotta work. Me and Candles are over here gonna record a pod in a little bit. Yeah, if you're still up for it. If not, do something else.
Does Green Candle sell a green candle?
What do you mean?
Like a wax candle that's green. Yes, I do. I don't know why anyone who has a large social media following in Bitcoin, I don't understand why they're not selling. They don't have a small Shopify store, BTC.
Well, you mean like every person?
I think Marty should be selling bourbon. a TFTC bourbon with it's called Trojan. What this little
that'd be
Trojan in a
dope,
Trojan
dude.
box, or
Yeah.
maybe it wouldn't be.
What
that
should
way to
Club
say.
Lab be selling?
I don't know. You got to come up with your own thing.
What? You're giving everybody else ideas.
Well, I'm just I don't.
So should we be selling like drugs or something?
Yeah, why don't you sell?
Oh, whoa! So like beakers that just have like Club Lab on it.
Yeah, but you kind of want things that are good for. Yeah, you kind of want things that people buy without really thinking about it. That's why I think bourbon is good. I know that works because that worked for Adam Carolla, where he like white labeled a wine company and made hundreds of millions of dollars.
Look at you, Keyan.
But
Give me an idea. I want to sell something.
I think a green candle representing Bitcoin would be generically valuable to like all of Bitcoiners would be like, where'd you get that green candle? Remember when Nick Carter was selling the dice?
Yeah, he also had a stupid mug with his face on it that sold really well.
Yeah, that's what if you like develop.
Yeah.
The FUD dice became a meme outside of beyond Nick Carter. Anyway.
Yeah. Whatever happened to that guy?
I think he got in a boxing match and developed Crohn's disease.
Oof. Way to go.
I don't think it was Crohn's. I think it was like something else, but.
Cool. All right. Well, Stackers, you have yourself a great weekend. I don't have a cowboy pick this week or else I'd give it to you.
You ran out of them. You only had 5. Freaking disappointed.
I mean, that
Some
wasn't a good
Western
segment.
Love
I mean, I don't know. I ran out. I mean, you got a cowboy movie?
Django Unchained.
Whoa, dude.
Isn't that one? Or is it like
I guess that is a good cowboy movie.
It's a Western one. What?
Yeah.
I watched that one.
Would you call that a cowboy Western or a cowboy
I don't know.
spaghetti
That was just
Western?
the one that came to mind.
Yeah, that is actually a pretty good.
I haven't watched enough Westerns. This wasn't the segment wasn't
I mean, you
my
run a Stacker News site that has Western stuff. You probably should brush up on the subject.
I think you're right.
Twice this episode, Car's right. Stackers.
Zap.